Basketball is one of the most passionate sports in the world. Seriously, and NBA fans bring out the energy, excitement, and sometimes complete chaos in the game. While fan enthusiasm can make games more thrilling, there have been moments when it went way beyond acceptable. From throwing things to disrespectful trash talk to dangerous actions that put players at risk. Today, I'm counting down 10 times NBA fans went too far. So guys, don't go anywhere, cause the fun is about to begin. At number 10, we've Russell Westbrook. This guy has had his fair share of run-ins with fans, but this one was really disrespectful. In a 2021 playoff game against the 76ers, Westbrook was leaving the court after an injury when a fan dumped popcorn on his head.
Saw Russell Westbrook leave the game. He was hobbled in this one. It looked like he came down a couple different times. And then he's leaving, and then a fan throws popcorn on him. And Russell Westbrook he went bananas. He went crazy. You know, rightfully so. If some stranger comes up to you on the street and throws popcorn on you, Mark, I'd probably come to blows with him, but as a player, what would you do if someone threw popcorn on you?
It's a prime example of a fan going too far. Russ had to be held back from going after the guy, and security banned the fan for life. Seriously, throwing food? What is this, a middle school cafeteria? This wasn't the only time something was thrown at an NBA player. There was another wild incident. At number 9, did you know a water bottle was thrown at Kyrie Irving during Game 4 of the NBA playoff series between the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics? The incident occurred after the Nets won the game 141-126. A salty Celtics fan threw a bottle at Kyrie Irving. Luckily, it was missed, but the message was clear. Some people just can't handle losing. The fan who threw the bottle was arrested right after, later being released on $500 bail and ordered to stay away from TD Garden. However, unlike Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving handled it like a pro, barely reacting. That's championship-level composure right there. Later, in a press conference, he said,
"People just feel very entitled out here. You know, they pay for the tickets, great. I'm grateful that they're coming in to watch a great performance, but it's just, you know, we're not at the theater. We're not throwing tomatoes and other random stuff at the people that are performing. You know, it's too much. And it's a reflection on, you know, us as a whole when you have fans acting like that. So, you know, hopefully people learn their lessons from being banned for however many years of being arrested, but, you know, there's always going to be an occasion."
If you thought those incidents were bad, get ready for this next one. Number 8. It was literally a legit dangerous stunt and could have caused serious permanent damage. During the Rockets' 93-91 victory over the Utah Jazz at Vivint Smart Home Arena, a fan actually shined a laser pointer at James Harden while he was shooting free throws.
At 6'8". They had a camera with a flash.
I mean, really, James Harden, is it that big of a deal? You're about to throw an attempt to look like you're going to throw a ball?
He's awesome.
He pointed out the culprit to officials while acting like he was going to throw the ball at the guy. And honestly, who wouldn't be that tempted? I genuinely wouldn't have blamed him if he had actually. A laser pointer in the eyes could cause serious vision damage, and yet some genius in the crowd thought it was all fun and games. Thankfully, security immediately removed the fan from the arena and banned him for a year. That should have been a lifetime ban, though. Harden talked to ESPN after this unfortunate incident and mentioned that that's just disrespectful, not just to a basketball player, but to anybody. Whoever that guy was, he wouldn't want to be lasered in the face. I'm just trying not to get blind. And he's absolutely right. At the end of the day, players might be entertainers, but they're still human beings. Trying to sabotage someone's vision just for fun? That's a whole new level of crossing the line. At number 7, this one is more hilarious than dangerous. We all know Drake, the Starboy singer's obsession with the Toronto Raptors. He's often seen watching their games from the first row of the courtside. He doesn't just watch the game like a regular fan. Oh no, he's practically coaching from the sidelines. Engaging in verbal exchanges with players, hyping up the crowd, and even getting a little too involved in the action is common for him. His courtside antics have become legendary, and at times even borderline distracting for the players. In fact, the NBA had to step in because of how much he interacted with players and coaches. But nothing tops the 2019 playoffs when Drake casually walked up behind Raptors coach Nick Nurse and started giving him an impromptu shoulder massage.
As Drake celebrates with Nick Nurse, no massage this time, just a big bear hug. And the Toronto Raptors are headed.
Although this seemed a very harmless act, this still crossed the NBA's boundaries for fan behavior. Thus, this prompted the league officials to warn Drake to keep his conduct in check. It's nothing new that Drake's antics went viral time and time again. Love him or hate him, you guys, this man makes sure everyone knows he's in the building. Moving on, at number 6, I've got a heated trash talk incident for you. It happened during the game between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Utah Jazz at Vivint Arena. A Jazz fan named Shane Keisel allegedly yelled racially charged comments at Russell Westbrook, telling him to get down on your knees like you're used to.
A young man and his wife in the stands told me to get down on my knees like he used to. And for me, that's just completely disrespectful to me. I think it's racial. I think it's just inappropriate.
Westbrook, understandably, got furious and didn't let it slide. He immediately fired back, threatening both the fan and his wife verbally. He just made it clear that he wouldn't tolerate that kind of disrespect.
I promise you. We are playing. I swear to God. I swear to God.
This was definitely a disgusting behavior from the fan. Trash talk is tolerable to some extent, but the second you make it personal, especially in a racial way, you're done. Although Westbrook was fined $25,000 for his response, but honestly, most people agreed he had every right to stand up for himself. At number 5, the verbal response wasn't enough for this NBA player, who took drastic steps to retaliate against a fan's unacceptable behavior. The incident involved Vernon Maxwell, the fiery shooting guard for the Houston Rockets, who was already enduring relentless heckling from fans throughout the game. While Maxwell initially tried to brush off the taunts, one fan crossed an unforgivable line by mocking Maxwell about his stillborn child. This cruel and deeply personal insult pushed Maxwell over the edge. In a moment of raw emotion, he charged into the stands, climbed over rows of seats, and started punching the assaulter.
He just stood up suddenly and slowly walked over to the stands to his right. Then he began climbing the stairs as a few teammates and security guards followed to make sure nothing bad happened. Two men started yelling at Maxwell as he got in their face, and Mad Max swung and punched the second guy right in the jaw. Both men started swinging back on him, but by then, a few teammates and guards were able to break it all up and send Maxwell back to the bench. The whole time he was walking back, he was booed.
While I do think violence isn't the answer, deep down I'm just relieved that the harasser at least learned that some things are simply never okay to joke about. Our number 4 incident wasn't just an out-of-control fan moment like this one. It was a complete mayhem that forced the NBA to rethink its entire security policy. It all started when Pistons center Ben Wallace shoved Pacers forward Ron Artest, now Meta Sandiford Artest, after a hard foul. Tempers flared, but nothing went out of hand yet. No one knows what was on Artest's mind, but he walked away and laid down on the scorer's table, seemingly trying to de-escalate. Then, the chaos erupted. A fan in the stands, either looking for attention or just making the dumbest decision of his life, threw a drink at Artest, hitting him right in the chest. That was it. Artest lost it. He sprinted into the crowd. He started throwing punches at the guy. Suddenly, players, fans, security, everyone was involved, and the entire arena turned into a battleground.
End of the game, I called the Detroit fans a bunch of punks. After further review, I still think they are. Although not all the fans, but those that were involved in this, those that came on the floor, guys, and it escalated when the fans get involved. There is no question that one thing that people don't understand, When you're involved in a rivalry like this, where the emotions are running at an all-time high, you have
The NBA immediately tightened security, banned alcohol sales earlier in games, and implemented stricter crowd control measures. Though these improved security measures couldn't prevent Chris Paul's family from being harassed during a game. Our number 3 incident occurred during Game 4 of the 2022 Western Conference semifinals. As the Phoenix Suns faced off against the Dallas Mavericks, a young Mavericks fan crossed the line by verbally harassing and physically touching Paul's mother and wife while they were seated courtside.
Suns point guard Chris Paul confronting a fan who was escorted out of the American Airlines Center. Well, just a short time ago, the Mavericks said there were 2 unruly fans who tried to hug Paul's family and have unwanted conversations with them on the concourse. Both fans are now banned from the American Airlines Center until next year.
Paul was definitely furious. He even yelled towards the stands, "I'll see you later. Swing," which, let's be real, was a very toned-down reaction considering what had just happened. Later, he took to Twitter to express his frustration. At this point, number 2, I have got a very nasty one. During Game 2 of the 2021 NBA playoffs, the Atlanta Hawks faced off against the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Knicks fans weren't much happy, and one fan took things way too far. Mid-game, a courtside fan literally spit on Trae Young. Yes, spit. During a global pandemic, no less. This was one of the lowest things a fan has ever done at an NBA game. I mean, worse, you can boo the guy, chant insults, make signs, but spitting is just gross, next-level disrespect. Good for Hawks fans, as Young didn't even realize this happened. He just kept playing, dropped 30 points, and sent the Knicks home in 5 games. Honestly, that was the best revenge possible for that spitty-mouth bastard. So far, till now, some fan incidents are chaotic, some are disrespectful, but our number 1 is downright terrifying. In September 2000, Paul Pierce, then entering his 3rd NBA season, was enjoying a night out at a Boston nightclub when tragedy struck. After an altercation with the brother of a woman he was speaking to, Pierce was brutally stabbed 11 times in the face, neck, and back. The attack appeared to be a planned murder attempt, with some speculating that fans of opposing teams may have orchestrated it. Pierce himself later hinted at the possibility of being targeted.
And so you be a target, and you don't really realize it, when you first get in it. As a young dude, and I was a product of some hate. I'm talking to a chick and everything, and then some dude come up, next thing you know, I'm in a squabble, with like 2 or 3 different dudes getting stabbed on the ground. Like I thank God that I'm still here.
Luckily, his teammate Tony Batty and Batty's brother were there to help get him out of the club and rush him to the hospital. Pierce was immediately taken into emergency surgery, where doctors removed a knife lodged dangerously close to his heart. If that blade had been just a few centimeters deeper, this could have been a completely different story. And with that, our list of 10 times NBA fans went way too far ends. Lastly, I've got one advice for you guys. Stay passionate, stay loud, but for the love of basketball. And for now, smash that like button and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our amazing content. I'll see you in the next video, so click on it right now.